I didn't want to make this video until yesterday, not tomorrow, because I didn't really want to give a discussion about it, and I'm probably really silent. I'm not sure how I'm going to test the volume out. I probably sound really silent, and if that's the case, I apologize. But I'm going to try moving on my camera a little bit. Let's make this a bit easier. Yeah, it's just playing Pokemon. But this is something I kind of wanted to talk about for a while. Something that kind of bugged me. Something I did talk about with some of my real life buddies over Smash and its current state of being. Right now, it's pretty much on its last legs. Smash 4, it's going to soon finally kick the bucket. It's going to pretty much die out. Its Ultimate's on its way. It's actually going to be out in less than a month. It's kind of a surprise that this is really just the case of how things are going to be going. Many people have not really seen this game much of a positive light anymore. There's just more people that do not like playing the game. There's just more people that are angry at it, do not like some of its stuff, and most of the blame goes back to the single character, Bayonetta. Now, for many of you who don't know, Bayonetta is a character in Smash 4 that is widely regarded and hated. I'd say it has more widespread hatred than Brawl Meta Knight. She's a character that got quite nerfed a bit from updates way back when that was a thing. And ever since, though, people have been trying to find different ways to abuse her mechanics and make her appear really stupid in the games. People have gone crazy over this character. They hate her. They say a bunch of terrible things about her. They make fun of the players. There are some that will say that, Lima is not anything without his 599 character. Or there's people that will give death threats to these people or make jokes about it, like when there was the Jacksonville football tournament shooting and people were making jokes. I think it was the same week Shine was, where they were like, we should slit Mistake's throat and accidentally shoot Captain Zach or something like that. Really, really hurtful statements that should not have been tolerated by any means necessary. People got pretty crazed over this character, but it's definitely not for a reason that I'm gonna say, oh, it's bogus. I mean, I think the character is a bit stupid in a lot of ways. She's just basically a character that is very hard to find weaknesses to. She doesn't really have an exact kind of weakness. She's a character that has a lot of really dumb combos that give her a lot of comeback potential. She has a Witch Time, which is a counter that pretty much allows her to get massive percents on you very, very fast from one mistake, like a jab. Her edge guarding game and recovery is absurdly good. She's got a weird kind of weight and fall speed where she doesn't really get comboed much by stuff. And because of the way Smash 4 really works with all its stuff, it's kind of a mess. And many people just say that they quit the game and hate the game because it's just this character is so over the top annoying to fight. You can't really do much against her. She kills the game. She kills the spirit for the game. She's just this horrible, horrible, horrible character. And so many people get so mad about this character and say that it's the reason why they quit, because the character is just too much and the character is overpowered, it's broken. And if you want any other time seeing how much people complain about this character or how outspoken the community is, go into any Ultimate video of MKLeo and Plop fighting. There are so many people there that ask for this character to get banned, get nerfed to the ground, so much different stuff. And it's kind of a little surprising. Oh, okay, not really surprising, because, I kind of expected this community to act like an asylum. Because it's actually going to be something I'm going to explain in a bit. And then it'll lead into what the whole purpose of this video is. But the way I feel a lot of viewers view Smash games, besides sometimes Melee, is that they see Smash without much depth. They see Smash for what is on the screen rather than what's actually going on behind the scenes. So to some people, random upsets like Prince Ramen defeating Zero or Zaki beating MKLeo is like phenomenal. Like, I love this version of Smash 4. This is showing how hyped the game can truly be sometimes, watching these absolutely crazy upsets. out of nowhere just happen. And so many people really just think that this is when peak Smash 4 is happening. Civil War, showing just how crazy and versatile the game can get. And then when this new meta rolls around, and most of it is this versatile character movement where there's like 3 BOs in top 8 sometimes, or not sometimes, it kind of happened a lot with the majors last year. With like CEO having 4 of them in top 8, Frostbite having 3 in top 8. I want to say, I'm not sure if MobileCon had 3 or 4. Oh yeah, it had 4 BOs in top 8. There was just a lot of BOs and a lot of really big versatile stuff that was going on at the time. And people were just starting to get really sick of it. They're like, there's no real reason to watch this stuff. And people would just be like, oh, this is so unfair. This is so stupid to watch. And yeah, that's how it went. But there's quite a bit I think I can make an argument out of here. Because it's something I've wanted to do for a while with this game. People, I feel like, do not really see Smash 4 inherently. Like, for some of the stuff it actually is. What am I trying to say here? Like, I feel like most people just see it from a spectator side of view than actually what's going on. I kind of explained that, and that's just reiterating, but I'm just trying to bring back the point from before. And I did use the Plup example, so I'm going to go in depth about that. What happened was that Leo and Plup were playing in a losers finals match, and Plup picked Ridley, and MKLeo picked Bayo. Now, if none of you don't know, MKLeo actually knows quite a bit about playing Bayonetta. He actually started using her quite a bit to deal with heavies during Smash 4. So he decides he wants to play the character because him and Plop are randomly selecting characters and they're going to Green Greens, which is a stage with a really, really low ceiling. Bayonetta has gotten pretty nerfed from this game. I can pretty much tell you that her most significant nerfs were her up air becoming just basically a very low knockback scaling move, meaning it's not a combo finisher anymore to kill off the top. Her ladders have a lot harder times performing because things like her fair do not combo at all, or things like her diagonal afterburner kick only work at low percents to form stuff, and anything with higher percents makes her have to deal with a ton of lag now, even more than what she had. Her witch time pretty much only now has its time drastically lowered, so it pretty much acts off as, oh, if you're smash attacking me, that's the only time it's going to actually be detrimental. If you're like jabbing me, it will be like a millisecond. Like, I'm saying that as an exaggeration, but it's like no time at all to pretty much work. Things like her downer also have really low knockback. Most of her holding aerials have really bigger landing lag, or smash attack finishers have a lot more lag and a lot less knockback. She's gotten some pretty hefty nerfs. And I'll explain more about the nerfing direction and how it's probably going to hurt Bayonetta too. But people just only saw it as similar. Ridley's a heavyweight, and many people are speculating already that Ridley is going to be a really bad character, and that Bayonetta's probably going to be a really strong character. No surprise, just because of Ridley's own size and whatever. But the thing is that when MKLeo did a ladder combo on a stage with a really low ceiling, with the 2-stock lead because Plop losing his other stocks to items, and Bayonetta beginning one of her combos on a stage with this very low ceiling, he ends up carrying Ridley, ends up killing her, and the entire chat that starts going boo, ban, broken, smash 4 port, like the whole Bayonetta's still gonna suck stuff, is gonna still be broken stuff. People went ape. The crowd in real life was booing like madmen, and so many people on Twitch was just salt fest, just absolute salt fest. Because the people pretty much only see Bayonetta now as a thing that, despite nerfs, is still broken because she was able to do one thing on the stage where there should not have been that much, where it's not probably going to affect the rest of the stuff. I can look to MKLeo Plop. No, not MKLeo Plop. MKLeo Zero, where he ended up using the first game. One of the latter things he tried didn't actually kill him when they were pretty high up on the stage, as if it was on Battlefield too. So it was not like, oh, it's on another dinky stage. And I was actually on a substantially bigger Blast Zone stage from appearance, and stuff has been tested to show that her ladder stuff is not definitely as bad. But most people will still see the video as, oh my gosh, this character is still going to kill the game. It's like Smash 4 all over again. Sakurai did not listen to us. Blah, 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 blah. So, I kind of wondered, over time, what is really the issue with this? Why is Bayonetta really killing this game's hope for so many people? It took me a long time to really understand just what people thought. But I kind of reached something that made me realize that people just didn't see it the same way that a lot of people in dev could. And it kind of changed my view a lot. And I just had someone view this stream and now they're gone. I'm sorry I bored you. But one of the things I wanted to take very close attention to detail of was just Smash 4 and the way it worked. And it took me talking with a lot of people on one of my Smash servers about this to get the whole thing wrapped in how I want to discuss this. Because this is kind of a really weird argument to make about a game. For the longest time in real life, I told my friends that I didn't feel like Smash 4 was a very adequate competitive game. I kind of said I felt like that it was a game with really weird bouncing issues, not even just on Bayonetta's end, but a whole game that kind of lacked a lot of depth and a lot of other things that made other Smash games kind of feel like they were better competitive games. So when I tried to talk about Smash 4, though, it only really came out as a Bayonetta thing because everyone around me that didn't like Bayonetta basically said that it was just Bayonetta causing the issues, but I always thought it was just more than that. I'm not going to make this video telling you that Bayonetta is the perfect Smash character or anything, that something else is causing her. No, I'm going to be flat out honest. She's kind of stupid. But I feel like that the stuff she does isn't really because it's her own character and the way she's built. I mean, yeah, her combo game is supposed to be built the way it is, but I didn't think that it went through people's heads that it was supposed to be this detrimental. And people really want to, oh, okay, I think this will be like the argument thing. People want to say that Bayonetta killed Smash 4 and made Smash 4 a very horrible fighting experience. But I honestly think that many people are very blind to the other stuff that has to go on, because I'm going to make the argument that I think Smash 4 in of itself is the reason why it is a failed game. Even with Bayonetta in it, even without, I always felt like Smash 4 is a game that with its own mechanics is very flawed and very far from perfect, and it's not completely Bayonetta's fault. But people will really go anywhere to the depths of hell to make it seem like this character is the absolute pinnacle worst thing that's been in the game. So pretty much here begins the arguments. Where do I even begin? There's like three things I really want to talk about. Three things that I feel like in Smash 4 that many people kind of don't really give much attentiveness to. And I think these all kind of contribute to a lot of the stuff that Bayonetta can do. The very first thing that's the elephant in the room I'm going to talk about is the ladders. Bayonetta isn't the only one who can do the ladders. She's very consistent at it, the most consistent at them, but she's not the only one who has these very weird stocks. What I mean by that is that Smash 4, I like to call along with some of my friends as the RNG game, as in ladders can sometimes be a huge detriment, but they sometimes really create really weird things. What happens with Smash 4 is that a lot of characters like Zero Suit Samus or Meta Knight get really weird ladders that especially get boosted by things like rage or where you are on what stage, but they can make characters die at extremely low percents at random for really weird mistakes or getting hit by some really weird thing, and you don't know if you're going to exactly die from it or if how much percent you put on someone is going to spell out death because you couldn't finish out their stock. It's not really fun. I don't know, Bayonetta is the one that does the ladders the worst and gets them the most consistent, but I shouldn't really have to fear because I got a Zero Suit Samus to 120% as Sheik that I'm going to get grabbed at 10 on a triplat and I'm going to die. Or that I'm going to get down throw by a Meta Knight and have them up air me and then up B me. And that could be the end of my stock because of how much rage was also put on them, which is actually funny because that's the next thing we'll be talking about. But it seems like they gave so many characters these stupid ladders that make the game go extremely dumbly fast, but not like consistent. It's not like where you can say, oh, the melee fox, he can get easily destroyed, and his gameplay is so fast all the time. He's able to adapt to many matchups and play very patiently fast where stocks just go flying with every character for stocks because his recovery and stuff is terrible. No, it's not like you can say that for most of these characters. They don't really have for that stuff. They're just all the ladder characters have some really just bizarre randomness to them where they just don't function. But this somehow, oh, you're gonna get laddered at this percent and die. It, it's just very randomish, and it doesn't really sound like you get a hard payoff for working. You just get dead because you get grabbed from one crucial error at a percent that you're not sure is going to kill you, and that constant threat has to linger in your head, and you can't really play the way you want because of the dumb thought that you're just gonna die because you're making some stupid mistake that's completely out of your control. Maybe ladder doesn't sound the most convincing argument. I mean, not many characters in Smash can do them anyway. I mean, there's a few that can up air kill you, like Rosalina, whatever. It's like kind of the worst argument I could throw out there because people are going to be like in the comments, oh, but Bayo has them the best and she can do more than just that. She can carry you off the side, she can do this and that and this. Yeah, but sure the character has that kind of stuff, but for ladders in general, it's kind of a everybody gets this random stock that just blows up. Then we have characters that also make it slow paced like Rosalina and Sonic and all them that would have to make the stocks like 2 and whatever, and then all these ladder characters or faster characters with all these crazy tools that would make it like 3 stocks like Cloud or Bay or ladder characters, and it's kind of just or more, and it's just very inconsistent because they're just constant battle. It's just with Rage. That's probably the second thing. Rage is probably the worst mechanic besides tripping that I've had the experience in a Smash game. Because it's not just that character might have a ladder. No, it's any character can get affected by Rage. It's the thing I was talking about before. Why should I have to fear? Because I put a person into the KO percent that after how much I body them in neutral exchange after neutral exchange, that I am the one getting the low blow end because I made one freaking mistake after all those wins and might get Koopaed or ding donged or laddered carried or F smash tippered by Marth at 30 and die or get hit by one Shadow Sneak I was not suspecting when I was Sheik and get killed at 60 from mid stage, which actually happened to me in a match. And I swear, if I have the replay, I am going to upload that as a Rage shenanigan. Because why should I have to fear this stuff, and why should people have to get stuck in this stuff? People are like, oh, but Rage stuff can make comebacks more exciting and more pleasing. Yeah, but look at what else it's affecting. Your actual character's performance. It's making it so most of the hard work is just demolished. It's like what Rich Brown said on Twitter very long ago. I think he mentioned that he felt like his wins weren't very deserved, or that the people that he lost against didn't feel like he deserved them a lot because of the fact of how much randomness and how much stuff was given to the losing player, or the worst player sometimes, in the spirit of an eye, or how Karma said you will never I'm not sure if it was Karma or Blank, but it was one of the two. I know that they were like, you will never see a random Sheik make upsets at majors. Thinking back on it, I have never, out of all the major tournaments I've watched, I have never seen a Sheik do that kind of stuff, except maybe, yeah, no, not even a random. It was Kool-Aid. I was thinking Kool-Aid versus Salem at one of the New York tournaments they had, but we knew who Kool-Aid was. But then you have Muthai beat Zero at Civil War, and the Prince Ramen beating once again Zero at CEO 2015, or we have Zaki beating Leo with DDD, or there's the Bayonetta that beat Kameme round 1 of pools at Evo 2017. I mean, really? Really? This is the type of stuff that really gets people on their feet is when all these guys get probably blown out of the way by like a bunch of stuff out of their own control. I mean, you could be like, yeah, well, the low tiers had to work their butt off for this kind of stuff compared to Bayos or whatever. Yeah, but still, like, they're getting a bunch of stuff, and it's kind of being used against them in a sense. Because there really shouldn't be a game that rewards you for sucking that can make you potentially win against a player that is a lot better skilled for, losing. I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but it just doesn't come off as right. It really doesn't. And I feel like most people really like viewing Smash as this kind of thing. That this whole rage thing that many characters get as a benefit as their comeback is a good mechanic because it helps them be able to make. Just, but you don't get this in other fighting games. People have enough skill to usually overcome, or if they don't, they don't. They're not handed out like candy. It's. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel like with all the comeback stuff, Bayonetta is very flexible with that kind of stuff. And Bayonetta is. I should have said this earlier during the video, but I feel like Bayonetta does a really good job at exploiting the problems of Smash 4. But many people only see it as a Bayo issue and not an entire game issue. Because rage is something that affects everyone. It either breaks or builds your character into a weapon of mass destruction. I mean, if you're looking forward to Lucario going to 100 something percent and burying you at 40 and die, I mean, by all means, I guess, enjoy that. But I can tell you that I do not enjoy my losses being to stuff like that where I get completely blown up because of a comeback mechanic that is handed to my opponent for how much I have worked to get them into these positions in the first place, and it just is getting thrown away. Right? Bayonetta can do it with her ladders too. Zero Suit Samus does it with her ladders. I mean, if anyone's seen like Narrow fighting Mr. R or Void, then you probably definitely know what I'm talking about because that stuff is infamous in Smash. Alright, but I guess the other last thing I want to talk about, which is probably not much of an important point, is edge guarding and recovery. I feel like in this game, there's just not much tools that edge guard people. And Bayonetta, of course, is an expert at edge guarding people because of her lingering, pressing aerials. And people just use this as a point to be like, yeah, her edge guarding game is just too stupid. No, it's not that her edge guarding game is too stupid, it's that there's not edge guarding at all really in this game. The air dodges in this are extremely safe, and the characters have extremely good recoveries, and like this is just not really a character that, besides her, that has people as well, because there just really isn't that kind of thing. There's just so many ways to recover, and so many ways that the ledges are a lot better, and air dodges not being as terrible. It's just all meshes together to become this unorthodox recovery style. It's something that I feel like a lot of people don't pay much attention to. Like, if you go into videos on this, I would like to see how many sets I could watch before I see someone really get chopped apart by an edge guard. I mean, there are some characters with vulnerable ones like Diddy Kong, whatever, but like anyone that's like Pikachu or Mario, or even like just Samus, there's like so many tools for characters to recover with, and there's just not much stuff that happens off stage. Now, I'm not really going to be like, oh, that's a bad thing because you might as well go back to Brawl for that, because I mean, they're like a monster with edge guarding. I feel like even in that game, there were many characters who had very threatening offstage tools. So not this, oh, you get this tiny little spike hitbox, or this, oh, you get this aerial. Like, I felt like in Brawl had a lot more consistent edge guarders and recovering, because I felt like even though you could do some, characters had a range or tools to put up with each of them, or the ledges functioned a lot harder, so it made it so it was not like, oh, you failed to get the ledge and someone used some ledge tactic to make sure you couldn't grab it. It wasn't like that. I feel like Brawl Legends at least did that kind of cool. But at the same time, I guess Brawl Legends also really sucked because it was the whole ledge hogging mechanic and how dumb it was if a character just blew you up off stage, and then you definitely know you can't recover back unless your character has some stupidly good move that hit them off the ledge with, which many characters in Brawl that were really good did not have. Many of them actually had really bad recoveries in Brawl, besides Midnight and a few others, which is quite a weird thing to note. Maybe it's just, I don't know, I feel like maybe that point is a little bit more nitpicky, but it definitely brings something like, hey, these characters like Pikachu, Sheik, have really good recoveries anyway. Rosalina, Villager, like they're not the only ones who are just gonna come. Not Rosalina. Bayonetta is not the only one who's gonna get stage spiked and sometimes be able to make it back. There's other characters in the game that still possess that potential ceiling. But yeah, especially for just very random. I think Rage is probably my worst issue with it because with Rage factored in, it makes a game like that just very unbearable. And like my hard work is getting crushed for a ladder, or my hard work is getting crushed because I got hit by an F smash unsuspecting, thinking it wasn't going to kill me. But I still had to fear it because I gave them Rage. I think Sheik players can attest to this, that this is the worst feeling in the world. It really is. But you know, yeah, that's something else I just kind of wanted to come back to with the game. I just feel like in a fighting game, there's no reason why I should really have to fear a bunch of randomness, or have to fear a ladder that makes this game randomly kill me when it wants to, or makes me pop out of stuff. It's just like, why? Why should I fear that? Can you tell me why? Because I clearly couldn't tell you either. For no sensible reason. Even, I know a lot of people give Brawl a lot of flack. But at least I felt like in that game, if you got punished besides tripping, because tripping is the elephant in that game's room, at least most of the stuff that went wrong with the characters, you knew the characters had that kind of stuff. It's like you make a mistake against some ice climbers, you know you're going to get chain grabbed for a while until they screw it up themselves. And the player's own skill makes them mess up the chain grab. And then you have things like, Omar's done not Pikmin. Omar's going to pretty much camp to get 6 Pikmin. He's going to love abusing his up smash. He's going to have really powerful throws. He's just going to be, stupid. Meta Knight is a very lagged character, and on the subject of Bayonetta, there's a difference between having your character's archetype be completely screwy with a game's mechanics and just being a very horrific character to deal with in the first place. Meta Knight and Brawl, top 2 that pretty much automatically won, not when he first released. After a while, maybe around I want to say 2011-ish, maybe past that, that's when his results started getting really hammered by people like Mitsukin. That's when he started becoming like the eye. And, it's very different to have a character that literally does not have lag on anything. It has stupid, good priority and range and all this stuff. That's not a character that is screwed up by the game's mechanics. No, that's just a character that is just dumb because of their own character abilities. I feel like Bayonetta has a little bit of that, but most of her own dumb stuff is given fact to things like Rage being really stupid when it comes to later game issues or ladders in general just being an existing thing And I'm really glad with Ultimate that they're doing as much as they can to make sure ladders don't happen, or these very one-off. You get a mistake once and you're dead. It's very much these short combos that end, and then you're back to fighting another neutral. And I'm glad that's kind of what the game is becoming, or at least what many of the buffs and nerfs for each character have. I mean, a lot of characters lost their ladders, but I feel like Men and I are getting stuff that, it's very neutral, helpful, make some actual characters rather than these stick figures that do dash attack and then airs and then kill you with shuttle loop. Or, shuttle loop doesn't work. Once again, going back to the randomness of, I don't know if I'm going to fall out of shuttle loop or if it's going to work or if I'm going to die. Woo! It's so exciting. I feel like, the Smash community, even going into Ultimate, I fear it. I really do. I feel like even if you see these characters like Diddy Kong and Sheik still be really good, or or Marcina be crazy good, or Olimar be as good as people are suspecting of Pikachu, people will probably brush it off like, they're so cool fighting with these people. And this is probably going to be the one or two Bayo players, or the person that comes up and they're going to be like, they're still carried. She wasn't nerfed hard enough. She's still so good in this game. Even if she doesn't perform as great as she used to. People are still going to probably have the hardest time admitting that. And people are probably still going to even see that despite her getting a ton of stuff taken away from her. That just because she had access to this one ladder on this one scenario, or this whole thing, that people are going to pretty much make it an intent of blindness. They're just going to be like, you know what, this character is still so damn stupid. And there are really underlying issues, and that people really need to wake up. I honestly wanted to make a video originally stating my fear for Ultimate, saying that I really feared this community, and I feared what characters going to come next, because this community had an awful vicious cycle of young people that wanted their game to be balanced. They complained about grabbing characters with dumb infinites, and fine, that was stupid. But when the game kind of got around near its balance states after Luigi lost his kill confirmed throw and we had things like Sheik, people bickered and hated the living crap out of Sheik. They did not like how she was so 50-50 billers. So down throw kill confirmed this, or her needles, or her back air, or her forward air, or what the bleeping ever. But they just hated Zero playing this character. They hated many people playing this character. And she got nerfed, and now everyone freaking loves her and thinks that she's the coolest character in Smash 4 or whatever, and love cheering on their boys Void and Mr. R. And for a while, people did not like Zero for playing Diddy. And then, guess what happened when Zero left and all these Bayos came slipping in? You guessed it. They went crazy pretending they were sucking off Zero, saying how they missed him playing. And you could tell in the YouTube comments that this was so ungenuine because these people did not like Zero at all. And Zero had to go through so much backlash for beating so many tournaments and playing Diddy and Sheik when that was the thing. And then to see all this hatred go batch for it, what he did, and then when he leaves and everyone acts like, we appreciate you, Zero, come back, please save us from this game. You can see all these Bayos and whatnot, and how terrible this game is starting to become. I've lost all my interest. It's the problem where people get tired of seeing the same thing, or they get tired of seeing the best thing, or where people will get tired of watching something win. Even if the thing is not the best, sometimes. If it's the annoying thing, or the thing people like the most, whatever, people will just jump all over, whatever. But that's just how people are as viewers. I feel like a lot of people, even coming into this video, probably are listening to me and thinking I'm a complete nutcase. And that my opinion, because I'm doing this more as ear noise and not even giving you a face or whatever, or any videos, must be thinking that I am speaking out of my butt. That what I'm saying is just ludicrous. I really don't know how, if you don't believe anything I'm saying, or even want to get convinced with some aspects of my argument, how I'm going to in the first place. I guess most of the stuff I wanted to try saying was stuff that was more like, think about it this way, or think about it in the way you're actually playing the game. And tried mainly relating the game to you, but once again, I'm trying not to say that Bayonetta is a character that, perfect, good character. Because I've said before that I think things like her witch time are stupid and that her ability to do all this crazy comeback stuff is dumb. But at the same time, I wouldn't say that Bayonetta is just made this way because of the way she's actually built, but rather because Smash 4 is very bad with handling its comeback mechanics. And I'm boy glad that Rage is getting toned down quite a lot because this was a massive issue in my opinion. And I think a lot of people very much agreed with me on that. But yeah, sorry if my voice this entire time has sounded pretty bad. It's kind of late and my throat doesn't feel the best. I have not felt really good at all, but yeah, it's just some food for thought. I just think that this game, with how much it hands people for not much work with things like rage and ladders and how weird the game can get paced sometimes, and the whole randomness gist of it, and how very little there is of technical stuff and edge guarding. Like, I guess maybe in order to not make myself flamed by people in the comments handing me top edge guarding videos or whatever, I guess my safest way of putting it is that there's just not as much as this as you can see in Melee or Brawl or 64. There's just not so much of it. It's probably because of the friendlier mechanics, but it feels desolate. Besides Bayo, it really feels like it's just not there. Which is something that a lot of characters loved feeding off of in other games. Was edge guarding each other, making each other vulnerable. It's just, I don't know. Seems a lot. So, conclusion, yeah, I'm just thinking that I think people are very tight about Bayo and don't really see things for how they are. Many people will just put the pin on the blame on something else. That many people just only see Bayo as a character that is just rage-inducing combos that will just kill people and deserve to get banned. If you're one of those people, I'm not sure if I myself can convince you out of that mindset, but I at least hope that if anything, you at least kind of reflect on Smash 4 and look back and honestly question yourself if it's the game you still think it is, or if it's the game that is this perfectly balanced game, because I've heard many people say that without Bayo it would be a balanced, fun game. I'm sure you people would still find something to complain about, like Cloud or Rosalina or Sonic or just whatever, something. People just love starting drama or finding things. The very first thing to complain about, which I love to buzz mocking on Twitter, saying, the very first thing I'm going to do when I get Ultimate is find something to complain about, because it seems like all its people do these days. And it's about the simplest things people really do not give attention to. There are other things I think that there should be more eyes batted on. But yeah, I feel like Smash 4 is just inherently a game with a lot of flawed mechanics. But I'm glad a lot of them are getting stripped for Ultimate, and in time, I guess we'll really be able to tell if perhaps what I'm saying here about Bayo is just inherently wrong, or if the character gets changed enough and still good, but not this stupid mess that many people love to shout at. And I will get to see if our community is still the same garbage that I had to put up with for so long. I'm really hoping that I do not have to put up with this community with its toxicity in Ultimate, but with how it seems so far, it's a dead dream. But you know what? That's gonna be fine. Sometimes there's just things that you're not gonna be able to change. It really isn't, but I guess what else can you do, really? In less than a month, we'll be able to tell. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of my video. I'm going to go to sleep now and call it a night because I feel tired. And you're probably tired if you hear my voice, and you probably have wanted to fall asleep to me. And if you ever need to go to sleep and you just can't find a reason to fall asleep, gladly play this video with my very boring voice. I'm sorry, I'm not serious. Okay, but yeah. Hey, yeah, a Chris explanation for sleepy people ASMR. Okay, I'm not staying serious at all, but I'll be signing out. Just Smash 4. I feel like just mechanically a very weird game, but yeah, that's just my take. I'll just see you guys around, and I'll probably have different content up soon. Have a good night, guys.